know, we have so many ways to get our information today. There is a website called nationsreportcard.gov. nationsreportcard.gov. And according to nationsreportcard.gov, as of 2019 in the state of Indiana, in mathematics at the grade 4 level, 47% were proficient. At grade 8, 37 were proficient in the subject of mathematics. Reading at grade 4, 37% were proficient. At grade 8, 37% proficient. In science at grade 4, 42% proficient. At grade 8, 36% proficient. So in writing at grade 4, 26% proficient. And we can see as it seemingly, as the students go into higher classes, as they go from the primary level to the secondary level, it seems like the scores do not improve. It appears that they are decreasing. And we wonder, how can this be remedied? I think, first of all, we need stable homes. The home is the beginning of our education. I think it was President Garfield that talked about the teacher that impacted him so much. He said, I wouldn't trade the instruction that I got from him for all the libraries in the world. And we have a lot of priorities that are maybe misplaced. For example, we can build maybe the world's largest gymnasium, but we seem to neglect libraries. We seem to maybe neglect some of the other tools that are more advanced for learning. But in the final analysis, a parent that's encouraging that student to be dedicated to the task, that oversees homework, that helps where possible. And certainly we need homes where the teacher is not scorned and ridiculed and demonized. We have to have respect in the classrooms. That means the teacher ought to be in control. I think if the teacher is a accredited teacher, professionally accredited, has a license to teach, and is of moral turpitude, that teacher needs to have some authority. That teacher should not be undermined by any administrator or anyone else. That teacher should be the boss in the classroom. Does that mean that they could do arbitrarily or capriciously anything? No, but within reasonable guidelines that affect the health, the safety, the welfare of that student, the teacher ought to be in control. I think, therefore, when we think about our educational system as parents, we can do a great deal to help if we'll do it. Students have to be taken to school, or they have to have the assurance that they're going to school. We can't have students that miss half of the school year and expect them to be meeting the proficiencies needed at that grade level. So parents have to make sure of that. Students ought to know what is appropriate for the classroom. We shouldn't send our students to the classroom not properly attired. And by the same token, teachers need to set the example. We don't need to try to become everybody's friend. We should be friendly, but the teacher ought to try to his or her ability to teach. Set the example. Have something for which the student would like to emulate. I know when I was teaching, I tried to impress in my applied economics class that we ought to look nice, especially when we had guests in that were helping the students. So on Fridays, my young men wore dress shirts and ties. And I know that may sound odd or may sound abnormal for the public schools, but it's the truth. I never punished anybody, nor did I reward anybody for not meeting those expectations. I simply, by encouraging and helpfulness, the students complied. I think sometimes students are just looking for somebody that they can know that represents authority, that represents somebody that cares for them. The teacher sets the example, and it's been said that the teacher affects eternity, and I believe that's probably right. We never know how that, as in the educational community, that we may affect students for their entire lifetime. Education is not just a one-time experience. Education is an ongoing process. We learn, or should, from the time we enter the world until we leave this world. We need to study. We need to study things that are palatable, things that are helpful, things that do us good. We ought to keep our minds off of the ugly and the kinds of junk and the kinds of information that is serving us to no good. For example, I don't have to eat out of a garbage can to know that's not where I want to get my food. We need wholesome materials. I really believe that if the teachers could recommend good materials for the students to study, and especially in English, the literature, my, what powerful literature that we studied in my growing up. We studied some wonderful authors. Did we agree with every author? Probably not. But, we have to agree to disagree. Learning is that acquisition of knowledge that will make us a better citizen, that makes us a better parent, that makes us a better husband, a brother, a better mom in the home. In other words, something that's we used to call deportment, how we carry ourselves. We used to get assigned letters, whether it was excellent or satisfactory or unsatisfactory, and how that we behaved in the classroom. Were we punctual? Were we responsible? Did we do our work in a timely manner? Were we careful how we presented ourselves? Were we ugly? Were we people that wanted to injure or hurt other people? No, those were the kinds of things that we got grades in as well. I hope this segment has helped you. We'll be studying more about it. I think it's a wonderful subject. I have enjoyed it. This is Andrew Phipps. I hope you have a great day.